Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jimmy Grapponi here with J Park Carolina Living. Hope you're having a great day. It is Wednesday, March 23rd, 2022, and today I'm going to talk about a few things you need to know if you're thinking about building a home. So I've got a really informative blog on my website. So if you go to jimmygrapponi.com and you click on, let's see here, your agent, drop down to blog, and you'll find this article among several others there. So today we're talking about things you need to know if you're thinking about building a home. I've got several clients that I'm working with right now who are in the process of building new construction homes. And the process always varies a little bit with different builders. So I've got 4 new construction buyers currently under contract with 3 different builders. In the process, while overall it's pretty similar, there are some changes, some differences, I mean. But this is some good overall information here. So, as the article says, if you're ready to move up, you might be trying to decide between, do you want to buy a new construction home or do you want to buy a resale home? There's some things going on with new construction. So, first off, we've been underbuilt for quite a while, probably for the last decade. Builders just haven't been building enough homes. They just haven't kept up with the demand. So there's so much demand for new construction homes. And I always tell people this, that when you buy a new construction home, even in normal times, you're paying that new car cost, that sticker price. You're paying for that premium for having a home that no one has ever lived in before versus buying a resale home. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because especially if you want to move into a home that no one has lived in before and you want to make it your own. But some of the things that these builders are going up against, one of the big things is supply chain issues. So if you listen to the news, if you've been walking around in the United States of America for the last couple of years, since COVID started, I guess, you've been hearing about supply chain issues. So basically what that means is our supplies come from all over the world. Materials come from all over the world. And sometimes there's a little bit more difficulty getting things here. And when there's a shortage, then that ends up causing prices to go up. So there's an article in the HousingWire, which I opened up. There's a link right here. But it talks about how everything in the home building process is facing some sort of delay right now, and subsequently a price increase. So they talk about lumber, but they also talk about other items: roofing materials, windows, garage doors, siding, and gypsum, which is used in drywall. Um, if you remember, I think it was in 2021. They had the cold streak they had a cold week out in Texas, and during that time there was a plant, I believe it was a gypsum plant, that actually caught on fire, and it was one of 2 gypsum plants that were providing the resin needed in windows. And because of this, the price of windows for builders to put them in even doubled overnight, basically, because they had half of the production available to them. So supply chain issues are causing prices to increase. And if you want to read that whole article, you can link to it again from coming to my blog. But it's this one right here. It's crazy home builders, big and small, struggle to finish projects. It's on housingwire.com from an article on February 22nd. So it's a good read there. Let's see. Back to the main article here. Skilled labor shortage. So one of the other challenges that new construction is facing today is that builders are having a hard time finding skilled labor. So if they're short staffed, it further drags out the timelines for completion. So what might have been a 4 to 6 month build maybe ends up being a 6 to 8 month build. And it's going to vary just depending on the builder and the crews they've been able to hire. So there's a quote from this article here that says the skilled labor shortage in the construction industry is not new. It's just been an issue for more than a decade now. But there is good news, as it goes on to say that the February job report shows employment gains in the construction industry. And I'll link out to that jobs report right here. So you can see that in February of 2022, construction added 60,000 jobs. following little change in the prior month. So in January, there were not many hires, but in February, 60,000 new jobs in construction, and about 75% of those were in specialty trade contractors, with increases in residential and non-residential. Um, Construction employment is slightly below its February 2020 level. So 2 years ago, February 2020, right before COVID hit, there were 11,000 more people working in the construction industry. So this is spread out across the United States, but you have less labor to build the homes. Then obviously that's going to make the timelines a little bit longer on being able to build homes. Let's see, what are some other good quotes here? The residential construction industry is facing a crisis as builders manage the critical shortage of building materials and labor. Explosive supply and labor costs are forcing long delays. So it's not happening every time. I've got some new constructions that are moving along really, really well. I've got a client who will be closing at the end of April. I believe we started the whole process probably in October of last year, and this is from dirt. When all there was a lot, and my clients, we picked out the home, we picked out everything about the property, picked out the lot, and then after that they started to build the house. And the house is, it's nearly complete now, so we'll be closing on it in a month. I've got another one that's moving along pretty well also, and then I've got two that are in South Carolina that seem to be staying on track. So it just kind of depends. But these are some of the things that you're gonna deal with if you're thinking about buying a new construction house. So if you are making that decision and you don't know whether to go with new construction or resale, I'd love to have that conversation with you and help you weigh the pros and cons of both. So when planning your next move, obviously understanding the local market conditions is key to making that best decision possible. So give me a call, shoot me a text, message me, and I look forward to talking to you. Thanks so much. Have a great day.